Nick, what do you think?
This specific season, there is no way that the 49ers are more of a Super Bowl contender without Jimmy Garoppolo. If you were to trade him before free agency or before Julio Jones was available, yes. But right now, if you clear that cap space, what's it going toward? The Fred Warner extension? Grant, right before you opened up this question, you talked about maybe with that money you can add a few free agents that can come in and start. I don't think there's any free agents available that are better than any of the 49ers' current starters at any given position, except for maybe the wide receiver 3 positions week. I don't even know off the top of my head who's available right there. I think that the roster this upcoming season is so sound as it is that being able to have the luxury of having 2 very good quarterbacks, like I talked about last segment, is way more valuable and than anything else that could possibly happen. And looking ahead at 2022, the short answer is yes, of course, they're going to be better off moving Garoppolo. I believe they clear $24.2 million. That's what they would clear next offseason moving on from Garoppolo, and then being able to allocate that money to build a stronger supporting cast around Trey Lance is a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. But for the immediate season, they are so much better off keeping Jimmy Garoppolo, having 2 quarterbacks. And let's say if Garoppolo's not even the starter, if he gets beat out by Trey Lance, we've had bad luck. We being the 49ers. The 49ers have had bad luck with Garoppolo's injuries over the last few years. In the terrible circumstance that Lance gets hurt, you have another starting caliber, NFL starting caliber quarterback behind him in Garoppolo. So it just makes so much more sense to me to hold on to him this upcoming season. And then you unload him next offseason, clear up that money, and spend it however the hell you want. But you keep Jimmy Garoppolo this year.
Passionate Nick is my favorite Nick. When we talked about this, I think this was maybe Nick's last show, is whether or not we should keep Jimmy G or trade him. And this was before we actually drafted Trey Lance. We just knew there was going to be a rookie being drafted. I was one of the biggest proponents, like get rid of Jimmy G and start the rookie. But when we're answering this specific question, I'm kind of with Nick on this one. Like, especially if we're just dumping Jimmy and cutting him, I think that's just a waste because you're not getting anything out of that. Which free agent did we not get because we had Jimmy's contract on our books? I don't think we really got outbid by anybody on anybody that we really wanted. I think we actually got everybody that we were targeting, and we didn't really miss out on anybody because we didn't have enough money. Maybe not enough draft capital, but it wasn't because we didn't have enough money. So I think I don't think that keeping Jimmy or dumping Jimmy actually improves our Super Bowl odds. Much like Nick said, next season is a completely different story. But if we're just focusing in on this year, nothing we get from Jimmy is going to affect this year's Super Bowl window. If we do trade him and we even get a first rounder or a second rounder, hopefully, fingers crossed, that's just going to help in the future years. But as far as this year, that money on the books isn't going to get us anybody that we absolutely need. And I think we're going to possibly get even a higher draft pick keeping him on the team than we would have if we traded him on the offseason, because more than likely somebody's starting quarterback is going to go down injured and they're going to be looking for a bona fide starter. Jimmy G is still a quality starter in the league. And especially if Trey Lance is playing well, he's going to be able to be there midseason for a trade, and we possibly could, get a higher pick than if we would have just traded him in the offseason when there wasn't a big need for him. So I think that to answer the question, no, dumping Jimmy this season doesn't affect the Super Bowl window, but definitely next season he needs to go.
Hey, Grant, is it cool if I piggyback off of O'Neal real quick? And then I have a question for you regarding this exact topic.
Sure.
Yeah, so before the draft, this is a scenario that I laid out before the draft. I had Joe Shasky and Bonte Hill from 95.7 The Game on my podcast, and I said before this even happened that a scenario really growing on me was drafting Trey Lance at 3 and keeping Jimmy Garoppolo for all of the reasons that I just mentioned. And so, Neil, you just touched on it too, that let's just say the 49ers cut Garoppolo right now. Is that going to be more beneficial this year? Let's just say he has another 2019-like season this year. He's going to get moved for a first or second round pick. If the Tua Tagovailoa experiment doesn't work out, with the Dolphins. It sounds like he's off to a miserable camp right now. And you look at the Washington football team, those are two teams who could use a quarterback that has big game experience. And now, Grant, this is the question that I have for you, because I know this is something you do a lot of digging on. What's the cap number? Quarterbacks never won a Super Bowl higher than what cap hit percentage?
13.1%. Steve Young did it. 13. Steve Young did it in 94. And then the only other guys who've done it with like double digit, like 10 plus, are Favre, Peyton, Eli, and Brady. Yeah. So when Rodgers won, it was below. When Breeze won, it was below. When Elway won, it was below. When Aikman won, it was below.
That all makes sense. So it looks like there's two possibilities here that the 49ers have some of the best Super Bowl odds out right now. So it's either if it does happen, it's going to be either a rookie quarterback winning the Super Bowl for the first time, or a quarterback making over 13.1% of his team's cap percentage doing it. So it's kind of like a pick your poison type thing.